morning, everybody. It's Sunday, September 18th, and I thought I'd give you another tour of how far we've gotten with progress on the fig trees. This is the Corky's honey. As you can see, no figs left on it, not because I ate them, but because they all dropped. And as they drop, I can't help but wonder if, maybe for a first year fig tree that I bought, maybe it just couldn't handle all those figs on it. I mean, it came with about 19 figlets on it and they all dropped. So I kind of chalk it up to that. I think it'll probably do much better next year. This is my Letizia. So I made another mistake, and I wanted to let you all know, because I think it's important that every fig grower know this. I don't think I'm the first one that's tried it, but I was watching that Australian gardener. I forgot the name of his program, but he was talking about ants and how to prevent them from climbing trees. Is you put a glop of Vaseline on the trunk of the trees. And so I was like, oh, I'll try it, because this area had quite a bit of ants and they were just up and down all over. And not only did that not work, but the Vaseline ate into the trunk of this young Letizia tree, and it actually broke down the trunk. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing an air layer of it up the branch some, so that it can establish more roots and be strong. There were 2 other branches on this that died off, that came off, and I'm actually rerooting those as their own, cuttings. And so I was really frustrated by that, and I wanted to share that with you. Here's where I had the Vaseline on this trunk, and it seems to be just soaking it up and not having too much of an effect, but I wonder if that affected the fruit drops as well. So I don't know, but it was a bad thing to do. Do not put Vaseline on the trunks of your fig trees. We're down at the fig orchard now, and I wanted to go through tree by tree. This is 2 weeks later than my previous video, and I just wanted to give you or show you what I'm experiencing here in zone 5B in terms of getting ripeness on my trees. And the majority of these were started from cuttings this past February and March, some all the way up into May. And so the growth is fantastic from a stick to these actual trees within a few months is just mind-blowing. And so I'd love to get some fruits, but I'm not sure if I will or not, or I mean fruits that ripen in our climate. I'm not sure how the weather is by you guys, but here it looks like our weather starting in a few days is going to start going down from 80s to 70s and 60s within a few days of each other. And not sure if that's going back up, but I'm going to assume that our weather is changing to fall. And so a lot of these trees that have figlets on them, I'll go ahead and bring them inside when the weather is in the 60s, I think, or when it looks like it's forecasted to be in the 50s. I'll bring them into the sunroom and see if they won't ripen for me. They're working so hard to try and give me some fruits. I gotta give them, a winning chance here, right? So this is my Col de Dame Noir. We've got, this had like, I think, little tiny figlets on it, and now they're a nice size, about 1.5 inches long, and the diameter is about a nickel size. And some of them I did pull off the little figlets that, you know, it just seemed like silly to let the tree use its energy on making that, you know, on figlets that would never ripen no matter what I do this year. But there are some trees like this one. I mean, would you have the heart to rip that off? I think not. You're a cold person if you can do it. Look at this. I can't rip that thing off. If it wants to make it, I'll let it make it. That's how I am. Okay, this is the Colonel Littman's Black Cross. This was my bigger one. And it's actually giving me figlets. This is another one that will be making it into the sunroom. I'm just gonna have to move the couch out of there. My husband will love me for that. This is my second yellow long neck, and these figs look to be, I want to say about like heavy 20 to 30, you know, approaching 30 grams, which is stupendous. If it can ripen those, wonderful. But this one I won't be able to bring in the sunroom because this is one of the ones I put in the ground. And so whatever I can get, I'll take it. This is the first yellow long neck, my biggest and strongest. And this is got 3 figs on this branch. And this is my main one that I've been sort of looking at for the last, how many months? Let's say 2 months. It feels like a year, but I only got this as a cutting in April from Harish on FigBid. Again, he's got some really strong cuttings. They're very good. These rooted like barely touching any dirt. I'm exaggerating, but really they were so what's the word the other word for strong? Yeah, very strong. This is my Rondi Bordeaux, and it's giving me 2 figs, and they just keep growing and growing. Oops, growing and growing. Look, I got a manicure. For once, no dirt under my nails. But they're a nice size. They're about a quarter, 25-cent quarter diameter. And they can't be more than like 10 grams. So they're pretty small, but I'm hoping the fact that they're small, maybe they'll ripen sooner for me. And those of you guys that are yelling at me for my air layers and telling me to cover them with aluminum foil, I hear you, man. I hear ya. But I just feel like it's too late in the season to do it now. And I did have them covered with foil, by the way. I did, I swear. But then after a month, I took the foil off and there was still nothing. And then Ross Ratty was like, oh no, when it starts getting cooler, take the foil off because then they'll get more heat. The foil actually is keeping out the heat as the weather is cooling down at nights and stuff. So that's why I took it off to begin with. So blame Ross. But that's okay. I'm going to just let it go this season and let it go into dormancy. And once it's dormant, I'll take those things off. And if there are no roots, maybe what I can do is just cut that stalk and just make it into cuttings and then start a new one from the cuttings. And so first time at air layering, failure, big F. But I think I started too late, and I'm an amateur. Okay, all right. Now that we've got that straight, I'll do better next year, I swear. This is my Peter's honey. It's still full of figs, and I could kiss Lou for recommending this Peter's honey all the time on every one of his videos. It's so full. I just wish and pray that I can taste one because he makes them look so good when he's like, chomping into them. They look amazing. But again, this is another one I've got in ground already, so I can't pull that up and put it into my sunroom. So we'll just, you know, make our cross, say a Hail Mary, and pray that it, you know, gives me something. But look how vibrant it is. It's beautiful. The Peter's honey I got from One Green World. The frustrating thing was that, you know, they sent to me, because I'm in Illinois, they didn't send them to me till like mid-April or something like that, right? Let me see. Sorry, early April, my bad, 4/9/22. And so, you know, I had this cool setup in the sunroom, and I could have gotten it started sooner, but, you know, like in February, March, but they were like, oh no, we're not going to send to your area until April sometime. And I was like, oh man. So then, you know, got kind of a late start based on that, I feel like. Same with Italian Laterula. I got this from One Green World back in April. And it's doing so much better, I think. And I think next year it'll be awesome. But no figlets. You know, I thought I had seen some double buds, but they are all turning into leaf buds. And so whatever it is, I'm happy. This is a new one, Strawberry Verte. Because I killed the cutting, and so I found the tree on, where did I get it? I forgot right now. You know what? I get stage fright when I'm recording videos, and I sort of lose track of everything. So I forgot where I got it from. I'll give props to that person on the next video. But you know what? It was just a little tiny rooted, you know, plant. And it's actually trying to push out figs here, which is awesome. So this guy's going in my sunroom. Wah, wah, wah. This is my Desert King. I'm assuming that, you know, it's going dormant because it's such an early one. So it's going dormant probably earlier than everything else. This was a little culture that I had gotten from Hertz Gardens, like off of Walmart, for goodness sakes. Super cheap, really, really strong in its growth, and you know, determination to shoot out, you know, branches and stuff. So it was an aggressive grower, and I loved it. As you can see, it's got a bunch of rust, but it might be, I'm thinking it's because it's going dormant. This is my Negron. Negron I got from One Green World also, so late start in April. Bad soil that I put it in caused this to the original branches and everything growing out of those original branches. But the new branches are doing real well, so I'm sure the rest of it is going to do awesome. The figs that it's giving me, you know what, they're turning from this sort of purplish color to a more green color. I don't know what that means. I'm just happy it's turning colors, because to me that means progress if it's changing from one thing to another. And so it's pushing out figlets in several places, I noticed. Again, I don't have the heart to pop those off, and I couldn't watch if someone had to do it to my trees either. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that are like me. You know, I can't. They're gonna all stay on there. I get figs, either one or all. Right? My white Madeira that I got from my buddy at MJ Figs. Look at this. It already gave me, or sorry, it had 2 figs on it when he sold it to me, and those both ripened, and now it pushed out a new one, and it's pushing out another branch at the base. And so, you know, I know from Mama Bear, you know, from Southern Gardens or something like that. Oh man, wait till I show you. Mama Bear said hers is super aggressive, and I think a lot of people are super aggressive. Do you guys see what I see? Other than my polished finger. I've got a fig in here. Where did this guy come from? I don't know. It couldn't be off of this tree. This is the Noir de Barbatane. Look at that. You know what? The figs, I've got a pink eye, and they are getting light. I hope the next step is that they get dark. But back to my dilemma. What is this? Where did it come from? Maybe it's one of my Negrones. Does it look like a Negrone? I don't think so. It probably is, because what else could it be? Yeah, it kind of looks like it could be that. Let me try and focus. There we go. Does it look like? No, you see the Negrone? It's got, its neck is long, or the stem is long, and the neck is very short. This one, the neck is really long. What could this be? As the Italians say, Maron. Where did this come from? What a mystery. Okay, all right. I guess I'll move on. Could I have a neighbor that has figs? Could this have flown in from their yard? I don't know. Okay. What is this guy? Oh, this is the Crema de Fragile. I moved it because I wanted it to get some more sun. These are the only 2 figs on it because of my stupid squirrel problem. Oh, by the way, you see sort of a sea of those baggies, right? It's not because my figs are getting ripe. It's because I have a squirrel thief. Actually, he's not a thief. He comes in and takes bites out of my green figs and decides they're gross, and then they're at that point ruined. And so I had to put the organza bags. I decided I'll try to put the organza bags on as look at here. That's my black Tuscan, and so I filled that one up because I don't want the stupid squirrel to mess up my very valuable collection here. I mean, especially since I haven't even eaten one. You know, it wouldn't be fair. Okay, so let's go back to here. This is again the Smith with the failed air layers. Again, don't be telling me I need to put foil on them. I get it. Okay, don't yell. I'll do it next season, for goodness sakes. This is my green Ishia. Again, covered with organza bag because of the stupid squirrel. But man, this is like a behemoth. It's enormous. Enormous. All this. This is the green Ishia. I think that's it. And then that one is the Spataphora. By the way, check out, let me put this fig in my pocket. Okay, green Ishia leaves. They're kind of, look at my hand compared to the green Ishia leaf. Right? Did you guys know it was that big? I didn't. Okay, the Spataphora. My buddy Steve came here, who also sells figs on Fig Bid. He's out in Lake Zurich. He's my neighbor. And he was, that was the first thing he noticed were like the leaf sizes. This, look at the Spataphora. It looks like it's a dinosaur plant. Like dinosaurs have to, you know, come and eat off this. The figs I don't feel like are progressing very quickly, and that's because it is now shaded a lot of the time, and it's in the ground now. So rest assured, next year I've got a schematic of how I'm going to make this area, and I'm actually going to put them out here. You see all the shade from all the trees behind me? Yeah, that's, see, all these trees back here are hiding the sun. And you know, when you don't realize that, like in the spring, the sun is sort of in a different spot, and it doesn't do this. This happens like at night. And so it was awesome learning that this year before I put these guys in a permanent location. And so I'm going to move them up here. I know it's still shaded, but it's better than this area, and they might get maybe an hour more of sun, which will be helpful. But this is south facing, and so, is it? Wait, where am I? No, this is east facing. So the sun comes up from there and it goes over like that, and it lands there. And so this is east facing. It's the best I can do. Gets a lot of sun back here, but not enough apparently. But we'll be better able to judge next year. Okay, this is Craven's Craving, again from my buddy MJ Figs. It popped out a fig. He probably won't even believe it. He's probably gonna be like, man, if I knew all these would be popping out figs, I wouldn't have sold them to her. No, just kidding. Okay, this is Leon's Montenegro. I got this as from like Boyer LLC or something like that in July. It's got a bit of fig mosaic virus, I think, but it popped out a fig real quick, and I think this guy's going to ripen. I had an organza bag on and I took it off so that you fine people can take a look at my nice Leon's Montenegro. Exquisito, another one from MJ Figs, and look at how it was a little tiny. It may have been an air layer or a cutting, I'm not sure what he did for me here, but I brought it home, and I swear like a couple of days later it had double nodes, and now look at how big they are. Okay, when did I get this? I got this last month. So almost exactly a month, and this was the progress. It came to me with nothing on it other than a few leaves, and it's done awesome. Again, this is the Black Tuscan. I traded with my buddy Steve. It's so loaded with figs, but so far nothing. And he says his is not ripening yet either, and it's the oddest thing. You know, it's because I have crap luck. That's what it is. I need to go to church or something, and get my luck renewed. Right, guys? Okay. What is this? Oh, this is my other Colonel Littman's Black Cross. This was the smaller one, and I can't say that anymore. I mean, it's a nice size now. It's still less voluminous than the other one, but we do have new growth from the bottom, and a squirrel came and pulled out another branch that was growing out from the base. And I think, yes sir, there's another one growing from the base. You see that right there? Yeah, so there was one here. It ripped it out, and I stuck it in some dirt to see if I can get it to root. Don't laugh. It might just happen. Let's take this guy out. This is my other creme de la fragile, and again, leaves are very big, beautiful, and it's got 2 figs on it. Now keep in mind, I'm dying to get these to ripen because I need to just, you know, prove that it is a creme de fragile, so I need to confirm it. And so that's one that I'll be bringing into the sunroom, and the Black Tuscan, and the Exquisito, the Leon's Montenegro, Craven's Craving. Yeah, I think the couch has got to go. My Greek dark Chios. You know what? It's looking real sad, but there's a glimmer of hope down here. Let's see. Focus. There it is. glimmer of hope. We've got a new branch coming out from the bottom. So yes, it looks sad, but that looks happy. Sad, happy. This is my beautiful Marius Negretta. I got it from the Bright Green Nurse. I think that was her name. I think it was Jenny. I might be wrong. I might be remembering incorrectly her name, but she gave me this as a cutting in May, and at the same time as the Smith. And so it's coming along, and it's got double buds, I think. And so those I will pop off before they look like a real figlet. It still breaks my heart, but I'll do it on this so that I can keep it going strong. This is longed out. It looks like it's really bad shape, but I'm not worried because it's got strength. The stem is, you know, thickening up big time, and when I got it, it was down to here, and now it's gotten this big, even though all the leaves have rust and I think it's fig mosaic virus. Otherwise, it's just some sort of a deficiency of nitrogen, I would say, but I don't know everything. And I do know that next year this will be without problem. Okay, this is my other Letizia, and it's pushing out figs, and I'm not gonna say no. I can put this guy in my sunroom as well and see how far it will go. We are now at a white Marseille that I got from Olga, and it's still got the same 3 figs on it. It seems like there's no progress, but I pulled it out from in the middle of all those yellow long necks that were towering over it, and I gave it its own spot here in the sun, and maybe, but if not, I'm putting it in the sunroom. Socorro Black. Socorro Black is not only doing awesome, it's giving me a bunch of branches. They're coming out, or whatever those are, maybe leaves or branches, not sure. But it is shooting up some new growth at the base too, and that makes me real happy. This is my Figine, or Verdino del Nord. Verdino? Yes, Verdino del Nord. It's full of figs, and no, I'm not gonna pop any of them off. It's going in my sunroom with the grow lights pointed at it. Look at all that. It's so prolific, guys. Anyway, once I confirm this, I'll be very happy. Next, Italian 258. Dun da da. She is the queen. I think I passed over some good ones over there, but I'll go back. Italian 258. Initially, these were the larger figs. The power was at the bottom. And then all of a sudden, these ones that were smaller and newer than those at the bottom started exploding with growth. Look at that. I think it may ripen something for me. And again, going in my sunroom. We've got a new one here. Oh, for you Italians out there, I want you to know I love your eggplants. They're the world's best eggplants. Oh, I'm not even showing it right there. What are they? The Sicilian eggplant or something like that? Those are the best. The best. And I've got them growing sort of across the way. All right, just going off on a little tangent. Sorry. Is that stupid thing? Okay. So this is my newest purchase, my panache. I got this from Hertz Gardens for 15 bucks. What was shipping? I forgot. I think it was $8 for shipping. So not bad at all. And for those of you guys, I don't know, if you don't know about shishito peppers, you have to try shishito peppers. And I mean like roast them in the oven. My kids pop them like they are candy. They love them. And they get about, you see this one, it's tiny. They get about this long, and then you pull them off. And then another thing I'm growing, I'm sorry guys if you don't like this, but I'm also growing okra. We dig okra around here. Again, I'm in Illinois, zone 5B, and I've got okra that I'm harvesting all the time. I've got 6 plants here, and it's not enough really, because each one will give you sort of like 1 or 2 at a time, for me anyway. And soil conditions have to be super wet, or it needs a lot of water, I should say. And it gets that over here because it's right next to a marsh. It's such a mess here. Don't look at this and don't judge me, because next year I'm gonna do a real good job of cleaning it up. Like that Italian gym guy that has a garden, or a food forest, he would be so disappointed in me right now if he looked at what I've done to my tomatoes. Okay, he always talks about determinate and indeterminate tomatoes. I don't know what the heck that is. Anyway, I think one of them grows like up to 50 feet, and then the other one sort of stops growing. Yeah, I put in the ones that keep growing, and I don't know what the hell to do with them. I had only sort of planned for 5 feet of growth, and then it went jungle crazy. Look, you can't even tell where the marsh begins and my garden ends. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I gotta come back and pick those cherry tomatoes. And that's all Lou's fault too, because he has those cherry tomatoes. He's always chomping on them, making me jealous. I forgot to show you guys my black Madeira. This is the one healthy one. It's doing awesome. Its sister is up in my balcony not doing so good because of gosh darn squirrels. Those squirrels, I had it rooting, and it like dug it out of the thing that it was in, the pot that it was in, twice or 3 times, and threw it on the ground. So it's like, it's on life support at this point. I don't know if it'll make it. This is my Olympian. I got this way back in February. It was a culture. And it was tiny, and a rabbit tore it up. And I mean, it's like not progressing at all since this spring, or since the summer, since a couple months ago. Excuse me. It's not been progressing. It still fits under this stupid crate. I keep waiting for it to get bigger so that I can take the crate off, but that branch right there is not coming out. It's like scared. Actually, it should be scared. We have critters out here. Oh my God, my sunchokes. I had it in a pot in the ground, and the whole pot, one stormy couple of days, popped out of the ground and fell over onto all my fig trees. Thankfully, they were all okay, but that's why it's like growing sideways now. Because I had to replant it, and now I planted it directly into the ground. And so I don't think it's gonna move, but it's growing sideways. Yeah, man, crazy stuff happens here. And so somebody needs to identify this for me. Where did this come from? What is this? I mean, what? Where? You feeling me? All right. Leave it in the comments if you have any idea. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Those of you that hung on till the very end, I forgot about my Celeste. She is doing real good. Real good. Yeah, she's doing great. I just got her in July. And, you know, she's feeling the weather's changing, I think so. But she's doing awesome, and I put her here where there's more sun. Okay, now that's it. I'm done. You can all go to your next video.